Everyone, Katie Sutton here, intuitive channel and founder of Zen Within Academy and the New Earth Now School with your October 2025 energy update. I've got 4 big themes to share with you this month. I will say they are powerful, they are strong, and we've got a lot of frequency around freedom and choice and a little bit of tough love from our guides and helpers this month. So let's dive into what's going on. We had a big month in September. We had a massively huge ending of endings and cycles with an eclipse portal. We had the equinox energies coming on September 23rd, and then we rounded out the month by starting to integrate and bring clarity post-eclipse. And we are going to build on that momentum in October. And the guides actually brought in the themes for October 2 weeks early this month, which never happens. I normally get them within 5 to 7 days before the month ends. They brought them in 2 weeks early because the medicine is so strong for me personally and for the collective that they wanted me to practice with these energies before I gave you the energy update for 2 whole weeks. So that's how big this month is. I am personally very encouraged because I don't know about you all, but my summer was weird and wonky. There were amazing things that happened, but in terms of feeling like I could sink my teeth into something and drop into a space of growth and healing and move forward, it was hard. Everybody that I have been talking to has said how distracted they were this summer and how hard it was to just stay engaged this summer. I'm very excited to be moving into the fall here in the Northern Hemisphere, moving into this new chapter, this 3rd quarter of the year where we are rounding out a 9 ending year to prepare for the new beginnings that are coming in 2026. So let's talk about the 4 themes that we have this month. And again, we got a little bit of tough love coming in, so please take a deep breath as you listen to these. So the first is called coming out of hiding. I cannot tell you how many times in the last couple of weeks I have been working with and seeing within people's frequency fields that they have literally been hiding away because they have had a story across so many lifetimes and maybe even so many ancestral generations that when we are seen, we are not safe. And the interesting thing about this, because we work on safety and being seen a good bit as a collective, especially as we are working on owning our spirituality and owning our beliefs. But the interesting thing with this theme is that the medicine that's coming in with it is this understanding that when we come out of hiding and we express our truth and we allow ourselves to be seen, we then are able to vibrate at a certain frequency where we attract in community. And I have been touting, and the guides have been touting for the last 2 years, how important community is going to be for us as we are in this Aquarian age, that this Aquarian age is all about community. But it has only been within the last couple of months that I've actually seen people really get their stuff together and be able to start actually creating community in what I would consider a sustainable way, where we're listening to one another and we're coming together in more unity. We're finally starting to bring some of these teachings online that the guides have been bringing through for the last couple of years and starting to embody them. You think that you're safe when you're hiding your beliefs, you're hiding your viewpoints. But what is actually true is that when you come out of hiding, you create safety in numbers. And as we use our voice and we are heard, we know that we are not alone, and our bravery begins to expand as individuals and as a collective. It is definitely time to be seen. It is definitely time to be looking to build community wherever you go. And understand that there are levels to this. There are levels of relational community. There are some where it's a close-in relational community, meaning that your immediate people in your life are going to be very aligned with your truth. And then we have concentric circles of community. And as we go further out, we get further to the edge of our community bubble, we may have less in common with that outer ring of our circle, but there's still a connection. And one of the things that the guides, my star being guides, have been saying to me a lot is this understanding that eventually when we have open contact and it's not just us channeling and connecting to them telepathically, when they actually show up here, there's going to be an instantaneous change into safety and numbers and community, because we're going to all realize that no longer are we different cultures, different races within the earth community. We're just earthlings. And the star beings are going to be the other. And we will come into an understanding of unity to a whole new level when that open contact happens. And it's going to be a mass awakening kind of energy. But in order to be ready to welcome them here, we as individuals have to start working on this understanding of coming out of hiding and being seen and being willing to look across the lane and look at somebody who has differences to us and find the commonality and find where we can be in our uniqueness and where we can build bridges. And so this is a month for y'all to stop hiding. I know some of you like to hermit. I know some of you like to stay in your little bubbles. But please, this month, do something that takes you out of your comfort zone and puts you in a place where you're interacting with different people. Spiritual practices in the world don't mean a hill of beans if you're not practicing it out in the collective. There goes my Southern roots coming out. We have to get out into the world and actually practice these skills. If not now, when? You all have the capacity to go out and make these new connections and to not be hiding anymore. It is safe. It is safe to be seen. I know if you watch the news and you listen to all the stuff on social media, it seems like we are not getting along and nobody thinks like we do, but I promise you that is what they want you to believe. Get out there and understand that we're all just human beings. Find the commonality, find the connection. So that's my challenge. And you don't have to make it a big deal. You can do that at a coffee shop. That's my challenge to you with this first theme. Come out of hiding. There is safety in numbers. All right, let's move on to the second theme. The next one is reclaiming personal agency. So in this, the way this has been showing up as I've been witnessing this theme in my own expression and in client sessions is that it looks like us recentering ourselves in our life with the decisions that we make. Take accountability for our person, and we reclaim the understanding that we have agency over this being. If we have not claimed our personal agency in the things that we have control over, we are not going to be able to hold on to it at the collective level. And so it is time for us to center ourselves in our decision making. If there is something that you are doing that is a hell no for you, stop doing it. If there is something that you are doing that you are feeling like there's a misalignment, take a pause, come into a new vibration, a new vibrational choice where you claim a different frequency. Center yourself in your own experience. Nobody else is going to calibrate to you being the center of your own universe in a healthy way if you don't do that yourself. And we have so much conditioning that says that we are selfish if we take care of ourselves. This is the month where that integrates. This is the month where we claim our choice and claim our personal agency and start putting ourselves in the driver's seat of our own life. This is the time. It's important that we start practicing this now because it's going to take us a couple of months to integrate this theme. And then we're going to come into January and in 2026, which is a 1 year where we're supposed to be taking a lot of next steps and forming some new beginnings. And if we haven't claimed our personal agency and our choice and put ourselves in our own life and our own experience, then we're not going to have the energy that we need to start all of those things. Pay attention to where you are decentering yourself in your own experience, where you are calibrating to everyone else. Pay attention this month and make some active choices to recenter yourself. That's number 2. Let's talk about number 3. One of the words that has just been loud for October is choice. This theme is called choices and challenges. This theme is understanding that certain choices come with challenges, but that does not make them wrong. That those are lessons that are meant to be experienced to allow that reality to take. So really what they want you to understand in this theme of choices and challenges is you might be looking at something and you might say, I really want to make this choice, but I see X, Y, and Z as potential challenges that I might face when I make that choice. And there might be an old part of you that wants to rear its head and say, that's too hard, that's too complicated. If I'm going to make this choice, it needs to be easy. And honestly, most of our growth comes when we make a hard decision. When we make a choice that is complicated and we are willing to face that complication or face that challenge and have the hard conversation anyways, and understand that in that there is a confidence building growth factor that happens. Choices might have challenges. We bring in bravery and courage and the tools that we need from this lifetime, from any lifetime, from our ancestral experience. We bring in the experiences and the tools that we need to be able to face those challenges. You all are so much more powerful than you give yourselves credit for, and the world at large, the powers that be, don't really want us to be in our choice. They would rather present all of the challenges and derail us from being in our power. And you may have people in your life that are really good at bringing up challenges. You may say, oh, I want to do this. And your partner or your friend or your family member immediately goes, what about this? Or have you thought about that? I'm not saying that those people don't love you. I'm just saying that you should be careful what you calibrate to, because sometimes when we're sharing new ideas or things that we're excited about, we have the momentum that we need to be able to work through that new choice, to take that new direction. But the moment we start talking to other people about it, they start bringing up challenges, and then all of a sudden that fire that we had and that belief that we had gets squashed. You all can do the things that you want to do. You are capable. You can. And there are people in your life who are going to mirror back to you the parts of you that believe otherwise. Okay? So understand that if you've got somebody in your life that's a naysayer, that's bringing up all the challenges, all they're doing is mirroring back the unspoken, unconscious programming that you need to clear in order to be able to move through that choice and make that choice and move through that challenge. So try not to get angry with them, but do be vocal. Say, oh, thank you so much for thinking of that. I'm sure that's something that I need to be aware of, but I have a lot of fire around this, and I would really like it if you supported me by doing X, Y, or Z. Give the people around you direct jobs, direct information about how to support you in the choices that you're making. It's very difficult for most people to envision another reality if they are used to you being in a certain frequency. Just like it's difficult for you to begin to vision a new reality for yourself. So understand that there may be challenges, but you are more than capable. So that's the third theme, choices and challenges. Now that takes me to the fourth theme, which is probably the most tough love of them all, although these feel really direct this month. The guides were laser focused and on point. Feels like an extension of the Virgo energy from September. So this fourth theme is called Freedom Frequency. This theme is about working with the understanding that we often are limiting our knowing of choice because we are afraid of taking the responsibility for that choice. We would rather give our power away and stay comfortable in the lack of choice than actually claiming the freedom of owning the choices that we can make. Self-responsibility and self-accountability. I've been inquiring with the guides about the way the systems and the structures are dismantling in the United States, for example, and in other governments in the world. How it seems we keep getting more and more choices being called to the table to be released and taken away. Released makes it sound really nice, but taken away. And I was like, what is this about? And what the guides keep saying to me is everybody keeps saying that they want freedom. They want all of this great, beautiful possibility of choosing whatever they want. But when it comes down to it, the average person is very comfortable being told what to do. That the average person would rather be told what to do than have to think outside of the box and make a different choice and be in their freedom of choice. And I think it's really interesting because we have a lot of very vocal energy around our choices being taken away. But if the average person, the majority of the collective, is saying, oh, I'd rather just be told what to do and let somebody else handle it, then we're not living into this freedom frequency. Going against these systems in a way that is really aggressive and warlike. But one of the things that I'm seeing in this freedom frequency is I think you all are going to have opportunities in the month of October where it is imperative that you use your voice, that you stand up for a freedom This might be in your microcosm, in your personal relationships, in your family, at work, in a partnership, or it could be you standing up for choice for a bigger issue and finding a way to have your voice heard in that. And I know a lot of you have already been doing this at the collective level and have already been having your voice be heard about the things that you see that are going on in the collective and really trying to be a part of change. I think this month we've got to bring this home. We've got to really look at the shadow parts of us that are comfortable being told what to do. I think these systems and structures exist because there is a comfort in that. And you also might need to sit with the understanding that doesn't work for you, that you don't want to be told what to do, and that you don't align with that at all, and the frustration that you have with those in the collective who would rather be told what to do and have that freedom taken away. However this shows up for you this month, this idea of freedom frequency is going to be loud. It's to take rage, energy, and allow it to be sacred and allow your voice to be heard in moments where there is an injustice happening or you need to stand up for something that you just really believe in. And that there's a way to do that and be heard in that without coming from a warlike frequency, that we can come from an expanded sense of love and compassion as we hold that level of truth. I try to hold this a lot in my sessions with people where I'm holding compassionate space, but I'm also really honest with them about where there is a part of them making a choice that is not in alignment with what they really want. And I think a lot of you are probably like me. You are truth tellers out in the world in your own way. Claiming this freedom frequency is very important. So look at the places where you're giving that freedom away and where you're comfortable doing that. Again, this could just be in your relationship. You may not be with anything that's going on the global level, but really look at where you might be playing into that paradigm, because I think that we all need to be conscious that there might be some part of us that is comfortable being told what to do. Even when you're going to a practitioner or a healer or asking for guidance medically, a lot of people just want to be given the pill or given the instruction on how to fix something. And I try really hard when I'm working with people to empower something within them. I give them an expanded perspective, enough for them to chew on, but then it's really their choice to make. And so just notice these places where you're not in this freedom frequency. You're not taking the responsibility of that choice seriously. So I think that term freedom frequency is what I'm going to call the healing circle that we're having on October 8th. We're going to cover all four of these. These themes are so intermingled around choice and agency and power. I'm really excited to see what comes through for this month's healing. I know that we're going to be doing some stuff through the whole chakra column on calling our energy back home and owning every chakra and thinking for ourselves and living for ourselves and creating for ourselves. I know that's part of it. I feel a few other things coming in for this healing too. I think it will be valuable as you all move into your fourth quarter energies and start to wind down in the year and get ready to go into the holidays and go into periods of creation that we might be moving into in the end of the year and in the beginning of 2026. So that Healing Circle is happening on October 8th. If you'd like to join us from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern, you can get the link to join that below this video. We have a whole bunch of in-person events coming up in October. My partner and I are going to Glastonbury to map out a sacred journey retreat for next year into the heart chakra of the world, which, boy, the teachings that are coming through for this already, for me personally, I'm doing so much studying right now to prepare for this trip, so I'm very excited to see what comes of that. I'm also really deep diving in editing my book, and I am excited that I think we're getting close to maybe being able to publish that soon, so stay tuned for that. And just all kinds of other things coming up in the fourth quarter. So thank you so much for watching. Please comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any updates. Follow me on Instagram if you have Instagram or Facebook, because I'm posting shorter form videos throughout the month as well that might help you work with these energies. And let us know how you feel about these themes this month and if they're firing you up like they are me. All right, have a great October, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.